And so we did 3 live events. They were all multi-day events, and an hour and a half every day that we did it. So the first one was like 5 days. The next two were both 3 days. And it was pretty intense. And we ran ads and we had thousands of people sign up for it. It was a free situation. So I think a lot of people were able to sign up without really any skin in the game. And it attracted a lot of people in crisis, hanging by a thread, doing it alone. And we really wanted to over deliver and we really poured ourselves out with that. Would you agree?
I agree. And we were able to make some sales and some people came and we wanted to walk with them and we did a quite a long 12-week course. However, we found that it was too much all at once. And when we first, Chris, when you said we're helping people go from, say, third grade to fourth grade, we realized we were trying to take people from, say, first grade through 12th grade, in terms of the level of the content that we were trying to take. And so we needed to make it much smaller. So we, one, knew that we didn't want to work with families or couples that were absolute crisis. It's really better probably in an office with one of our other therapists or with Sean, but what we are looking for in this group format is really couples who they're committed, they're wanting to stay married, they're just disconnected, and they want to have a better, less conflict, more enjoyment of
The
each other,
thriving.
and the thriving aspect. And so that's what we ended up landing on is not necessarily in crisis.
I would suggest that one of the things that we've really been helped by Chris and his teaching with help from Olivia and the cohort we're in is identifying the dreams, drains, and doubts of our ideal client. And that has helped us tremendously in how we present the content and how we talk to these people. So it helps the listener and the people who are kind of kicking tires to really come to terms and maybe acknowledge, accept that maybe there are some things they could work on. So there is a real methodology that Chris teaches to help you get there so that you can present it in such a way that you don't have to tell them, hey, you might want to consider that it took both of you to get here. It's more of letting them come to those terms and identify the things through the proper line of questioning. So we did kind of have a strategy in the presentations that we did. The 3 presentations were pretty robust. I think we put way too much content, so people were drinking from the fire hose, but there was a lot of vulnerability, transparency on our part. We shared a lot of our story to build rapport. The idea behind really delivering and giving them lots of takeaway material was we wanted to really show up for them. But at the same time, I think it contributed to the burnout that we experienced by the end of the third go round. So there is an element of like you want to build rapport, but it's less about us and more about them. And again, this is where GCN helps you refine that process and
Mhm.
really showing up for where they're at rather than having to pitch who you are.
Say this, all learning is good learning in terms of from Sean and I's perspective. So we learned what worked and what didn't work. And so we were able to get some feedback at the end of the 12-week session. And of course, we saw the progress that they made individually as they came to class or they came and, we did the one-on-one.
Mhm.
However, it helped us know what we wanted to include, what we didn't want to include. It helped us refine our market. And really, I mean, it started with what not to do. And then we found Group Coach Nation, and it really helped us refine who we really want to focus on in this setting. And
Yeah.
so that's how we kind of came into this aspect.
We learned from last year through all that we did and the burnout that drained us tremendously. I think the doubts that had to be overcome included kind of um, really coming to terms with we do have something to offer. If we refine this, there's no reason why we can't charge what we are going to be charging, if not more. And that was hard for us last year, and you could probably smell it on us when we were doing the interviews, but I think we're just really becoming a lot more comfortable with uh,
Confident.
and confident with the refined presentation that we're developing. And then the dreams have just always been there. They've been there for years. We know we've been called to help others, help couples, and it brings us joy. It brings us life. We eat, breathe, sleep this stuff all the time. We practice what we preach, so we don't want to miss it.
And I'll just add real quick to that the fact that we didn't have to do this alone.
Yeah.
And the consistency of for us being able to meet with you and our small cohort for Q&A to be able to work with somebody and there's an accountability aspect because we want to come prepared. And so and it's but also come as you are. And that's the other gracious part of this whole dynamic. So when one
Yeah.
of us has a hard time and say, I have nothing to give today, and
Or
our
if we're
group,
struggling, if somebody's struggling,
yeah,
the support within our
yeah,
cohort is
phenomenal.
outstanding. So it's been a tremendous help for us, and we're we're thrilled that we made the decision to do it.
Absolutely.